So now I try to share my screen. Maybe all of the members able to. Someone is giving reply. What is this? Okay. Thank you. So is it my screen is it my screen is visible to you or not? Please respond once. Are you able to my screen now? See my screen? In the last class, we are discussing about the relational data model. Okay. So in the case of relational data model, here we are discussing about what is a relational instance and what is a relational degree. Okay. And what is a domain. Okay. And what are the types of integrity constraints also. Am I right or not? So we are already discussing about the purpose of integrity constraints. So what is the main purpose of integrity constraints? So the main purpose of integrity constraint is to maintain the integrity. So that means, so the main advantage of integrity constraints are used for inserting correct data into the database. So I'm right or not? So in the same way here, so primary key is also one of the integrity constraint. So what is the use of the primary key? So primary key is used for uniquely identifies the data from the database. Okay. So that means when we are declaring one field is an primary key, so that is not accepting the null values. So if you are allowing the null values into the relation, so it will be create some problems. So that means we can't retrieve our required data within the time. And here the maybe the problem occurring is accessing the data is difficult, and we are not able to accessing the data easily. So that means when we are allowing the null values in the relations, then we can't perform the operations. For example, if we want to compare with some other attribute, so that is not possible easily. Am I right or not? So in the same way, foreign key is also one of the integrity constraint. So what is the purpose of foreign key actually? So that means when we need to combine two tables into a single table and to maintain the integrity, so that will be also referred as referential integrity. Am I right? So referential integrity. So that means even though we are referring another table, then also maintain the integrity. So that can be referred as a referential integrity. In the same way here, we are using check constraint is also one of the integrity constraint. What is the purpose of check? What is the purpose of check? So that means check integrity check is also one of the integrity constraint. So that can be used for to maintain the integrity. So that means, for example, if you want to set one of the field value, for example, maybe you consider the salary. Okay, so maybe the salary. So the salary attribute is should be greater than 10,000 for each and every employee. So maybe that is our condition. Okay. So please wait 1 minute. Yeah, I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Is it right or not? May I continue my session? May I continue my session? Please respond anyone through chat box. May I continue my session? Yeah. So that means check is also one of the integrity constraint to maintain the required field. So that means, for example, maybe we are setting one condition, that is, so each and every employee salary should be greater than 10,000. Then how we can set that condition? So that means check of sal greater than 10,000. Then it will be accepting 10,000 only. Okay. So just to try to see now, in the last class we are discussing about all these things. Okay. Null value, how the null values can be identified. So is null and is not null. I'm right. So how we are find out the null values tables, and in the last class we're already discussing about what is domain constraint, what is entity integrity constraint, and what is referential integrity constraint, and what is a key constraint. So here mainly we are discussing about the 4 types of integrity constraints. In the exam point of view also it is very important. So in the case of domain constraints, so that means during the creation of the table, we are specifying so for a particular field. So maybe accepting which type of value it is, whether it is a numerical or maybe character or integer. That is also one of the constraint. Entity integrity constraints means primary key. Referential integrity constraints means foreign key. Key constraint is also same like as primary key. Okay, this is about the domain constraints. So that means here we are set the condition. Constraint means nothing but a condition. So that condition is set for to the particular domain. Okay. For example, if you are observe here, so the age is A. So that is actually character data type, but the age is A. Maybe during the creation of the table here we are using numerical data type, like maybe int. If you are observe here, so that is not allowed because age is an integer attribute. Okay, entity integrity constraint. So entity integrity constraint means nothing but a primary key. The main advantage of primary key is not accepting the null values in a relation. Okay, and another one is the referential integrity constraints. We're already discussing about this. So that means when we are consider referential integrity, we should remember one thing. So that is whatever here we are maintaining 2 tables. First remember 2 tables here. So those 2 tables we can consider as one is the base table and another one is the child table. Okay, our primary table, our parent table one is, and another one is secondary table. Okay, so now in the case of primary table, so one of the field will be maintained as primary key. Okay, in this example, if you are observe here, so the D number and D location. So that is one table, and another one is EMP name, age, okay, D number. So that is one table. Okay, so that means here we are consider the names are table 1 and table 2. So here, so the primary table is table 2. So how we can say that is a primary table? Why? Because so that will be maintains the primary key first of all, and that primary key is referred to the another table. Okay, please remember this. So here we are consider one primary table and one secondary table. In this example, table 2 is the primary table. Okay, in that primary table, one of the primary key is maintained. Okay, next that primary key is referenced to the another table, that is department table. Okay, so that means here, so during the creation of the another table, so table 1, so how we can create that? The first field name is here actually wrong, that is employee number, employee name. So employee age and department number. Okay, so employee number is a primary key in the table 1 and department number is the primary key in the table 2. Okay, so now the department number of the table 1 is a foreign key to the primary key of the table 2. Okay, if you are observe here, so these two are the same. So 11, 24, 13. So that means if it is a primary key, so that is only accepted. If you are observe here 18, 18 is not creating a row. Why? Because so that is not found in the primary table. So if you are observing the above example, 18 is not allowed. Am I right? So 18 is not allowed because the department number 18 is not defined in the primary key of the table 2. Okay, so that is nothing but so that means even though we are referring another table, then we can maintain the integrity. So that type of integrity will be referred as a referential integrity, or it is also referred as a foreign key. Okay, maybe all of the members able to understood this. So next one is the key constraint. Keys are the entity set that is used to identify entity within the entity set uniquely. An entity set can have multiple keys. So out of which one key will be primary key. A primary key can contain unique and null value and the relation table. So this is also same like as a primary key. So it means up to now we are discussing about the 4 types of integrity constraints. Those are the first one is domain constraint, another one entity integrity constraint, another one referential integrity constraint, and another one key constraint. Okay. So please remember all these things at the same time. You can remember check also. Okay, so during the creation of the table here we are mentioned check of the field name and we try to give that condition. For example, in the previous case I'm saying about that, for example, every employee salary should be greater than 10,000. Then how we can set that condition? Check of sal greater than 10,000. So that will be maintained at the during the creation of the table. Then it is not accepting if you are enter the less than 10,000 for the employee salary. So if you are enter greater than 10,000 only, it will be accepted to create a row. Okay. So that type of constraint will be referred as a check constraint, and we are having another constraint also. So that is unique. So in some type of situations, so if you observe here, primary key is only used for to maintain the unique values. And another thing, so often we are selecting the numerical data type. Am I right? In the previous example, also department number is a primary key in one table. Employee number is a primary key in another table. But if any time of the situation, we need to set the character data type of the field for the primary key. So that means, for example, if we are set the employee name for the constraint, then the same name is not repeated again. So the type of constraint will be referred as a unique constraint. Then how we can use that unique of, okay, field name. Simple. So for example, if we are set the unique of employee name, then the same employee name is not repeated again. Okay. So the type of the thing will be referred to as a unique constraint. Okay. So next one is SQL. So what is an SQL? So SQL is nothing but a structured query language. So this is used for okay. SQL is used for to maintain the creating the queries. So we're already discussing about this. So SQL is nothing but a structured query language. Okay. Please just wait here. Question. Question. Ma. Ma. Mama garu. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. We can continue the class. Okay. So if we want to discuss about the SQL, so what is an SQL? SQL is nothing but a structural query language. I'm right. It provides the basic and advanced concepts of SQL. Our SQL tutorial is designed for beginners and professionals. So what is the purpose? Is it to perform operations on the records stored in the database, such as updating records, deleting records, creating and modifying the tables. So that is about the SQL. So SQL is a query language. It is not a database to perform SQL queries. So that means, so whatever it may be, you can select the version of the DBMS. So we can use the SQL. I'm right. Okay. So different types of versions are also there. Oracle, MySQL, Mango database, and another one is PostgreSQL, SQL Server. So in this type of, we are having different types of versions to maintaining the database. Okay. So SQL stands for Structural Queries Language. It is designed for managing data in relational database management system. It is pronounced as SQL or sometimes SQL. So SQL is a database language. It is used for database creation, deletion, and fetching rows and modify rows, etc. Okay, SQL is based on relational algebra and tuple relational calculus. Actually, so we are not having the syllabus about the relational algebra and relational calculus. So if you having the time, so we try to discuss about those operations also. So just those are the symbolic languages. So that means, for example, how we are write the query for to fetch the records whose marks is greater than 70, So then select star from student where marks greater than 70. Then if you write the query like that, then what happened? So then it will be fetch the records of the students whose marks is greater than or equal to 70. Am I right? So that means here, so we are representing the query in the format of SQL according to the maintaining the three classes. So those are select class, from class, and where class. Actually, these are the parts of the query. So in the case of select class, we need to specify which is to be displayed, so what is the main required data for the user. So from class specifies where, from where, so which table, okay, and where class specifies what is your condition. Am I right? So in the type of way, we are representing the query in the query format. But in the case of relational algebra and relational calculus, we are using some symbols. So those are not executed actually. So just only we are representing some symbols to representing the actual query into the by using some symbols. Okay. So all DBMS like MySQL, Oracle, MS Access, Sybase, Informix, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server use versions based upon to the SQL. Here we are consider the mainly we are consider the four types of languages. Those are DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. Am I right? So we can consider another language also, that is here data retrieval language. So that is nothing but a select. Okay, if you are observe here data definition language. So create a command is used for to creating the tables. So and we are using the syntax is create table, table name, and open the parenthesis, and field name and data type. I'm right. So in the same way, alter table, table name. So add so either field name or data type. Okay. So please just wait here 1 minute. Okay. So if you are observe here, so DDL commands are nothing but create and alter, and another one is the drop. In the same way, we can consider the rename is also treated as DDL. So why? Because so in the case of rename table command also, we are using the table keyword. So how we are renaming the table? Rename table, table name. For example, if we want to change the student name is table name is student, but we can't. We want to convert it is a stu. Okay, then how we can convert from student to stu? So rename old name, okay, to new name. Okay. So in that type of way, we are using to changing the table name. Okay, rename student to stu. So then it will be converted to the stu table. Okay. If you are observe here DML, data manipulation language. So that means here we are performing some manipulation or updation or deletion or insertion. So those type of commands are related with the DML. Okay, so that means insertion, deletion, updation. So all these are related with the data manipulation language. So data retrieval. So nothing but to retrieve the data. So that is nothing but by using select. Am I right? So another one is the DCL, data control language. So how we are controlling the language? So grant and revoke. Grant means nothing but to grant the permissions for the users. Am I right? So that means grant all privileges to user. So revoke is nothing but revoke the, so nothing but here we are retrieve back the permissions from the assigned user. Okay, here we are deallocate the permissions which are assigned to the user. So next one is the transaction control language, that is nothing but commit. Commit is used for to performing the saving operation. Okay, and another one, so rollback means nothing but like as undo operation. And another one is the save point. Save point means nothing but so that is used for to save the particular transactions on that particular day. Okay, for example, maybe we are collecting the fees from the students, so we are giving the time for the students, maybe 1 week or maybe 1 month. Then how they can pay the fees to the college? So maybe some of the members paying today. Okay, for example, maybe the class having 60 members. So maybe in that 60 members, maybe 10 members paying the fees today. So the 10 records will be saved with the one save point. Okay. So next day maybe paying only only two members paying the fees. So we try to save with the another save point. So then that save point having the 12 members, this is first save point having the 10 members. Okay, so maybe on the next day maybe three members paying the fees. So then we are using some save point. Then that save point having the 15 members. So previous one having the 12 members, the first one having the 10 members. So in that type of way, so we can save the particular transactions separately by using the save point. Okay, so that is the purpose of this one. And here we are using set transaction, but here set transaction is not used in the SQL. Okay, if you observe here, so what is the purpose of DDL? In some type of situations, maybe in the exam point of view, asking about what are the database languages explain, or how we are creating the database. Okay, so like this. So in some type of situation, asking the question directly. In some type of situations, maybe asking the question in the indirect way. So and if you know about these comments properly, so then so we are having the chance to elaborate the answer. Okay. So what is a DDL and how we are using that? Okay, if you observe here, it is a language that is the users to define the data and their relationship to the other types of data. So it is mainly used to create the files, database and data dictionary and tables within the database. So that means DDL is used for to define the data. At the same time, we are specifying the relationship also. How we are specifying the relationship? So simple through using attributes. For example, we are using student data. Then we are giving student number, student name, and student marks, and the student address, student phone number. So that means here, so what is the relationship between student and student address? So it is also one relationship, am I right? So what are the relationship between marks and the student number? So that is also one relationship. So that means here by using data definition language, so we can provide the relationship also, specifying the relationship. It is also used to specify the structure of each table, set of associated values with each attribute, integrity constraints, security, and authorization information for each table, and physical storage structure of each table on disk. So that means here we are specifying the, so maybe we are specifying the integrity constraints also. Okay. What is the purpose? So create table is used for to create the schema. What is the meaning of schema? The design of the database. So alter is used for alter the schema. So nothing but either adding the columns to the existing table or removing the columns from the existing table. Okay. And another one is the delete schema, dropping the entire database and renaming the schema. Okay, so in that type of we are considered those type of commands. And another one is data manipulation language. Here we are manipulating the data. Okay, it is a language that provides a set of operations to support the basic data manipulation operations on the data held in the database. It allows the users to insert, update, delete, and retrieve the data from the database. The part of the DML, so that involves the retrieval is called a query language. So in that type of way, here we are using so DDL commands, DML commands, and DCL commands and TCL commands. So I hope already all of the members having the knowledge about the queries. So if you're having any about the doubts, you can ask me now. So otherwise, we will end the session today. So in the next session, we try to discuss about the functions, SQL functions, built-in functions, date functions. Okay, how we are using that. So just to try to repeat those type of comments. Okay. Actually today I'm having small problems, so that's why I'm not taking the session within the time. So don't worry about anyone, please. Okay.